Now, well, let us also look at the pattern of attacks. We saw one attack in Jos, Plateau State. We saw the other in Kano, and then we saw one in Kaduna yesterday as well. Looking at how the Boko Haram terrorists have been going round, and I really hate to say this, but should we really be keeping watch on any other states looking at how they have gone around and trying to create terror or fear in some states, even states that have not experienced this kind of thing before?
Obviously, we live in a free society and we cannot stop the movement of people across all parts of Nigeria. So you cannot set up different operations or measures that are going to make people to become more skeptical and not feel involved in the operation against terror. So we cannot stop it from moving across one state to another state in Nigeria. Obviously, what we need to be thinking about, what are we not doing well? Now, in Nigeria, sorry to say, you've got a lot of unmarked vehicles that have got no registration numbers. People drive all sorts of Okada or Achaba, they call it in some parts of Nigeria, with no plate number. There's so many people that move around without no identity, no driver's license. So we need to understand what are our parameters. I'll give you an example. I can tell you, if you get into Westminster in London, we know the number of car entrance and car exits there. We know the number of motorcycle entrance and exits there. We know the number of pedestrian entrance and exits there. Because we've done our geospatial very well, we understand our location. In the places like Abuja, do we have such kind of a geospatial system in place that I can say to you, if you enter this particular area of Wuse, you understand the number of exit and entrance for pedestrians, for vehicles, for motorcycles? Do we understand that? So a lot hasn't been done, and we cannot expect to win this war overnight. No, we haven't done enough, and this has started for decades, not just only during Mr. President's regime. We have to understand that we need to support Mr. President to do more. We need to be able to bring more eggheads together to do more. We need to be able to what is the risk assessment? In my service, we believe in the risk assessment of what we call the 5 times 5. So when you've got a risk that hits number 1, it's 5 times 1, that is 5. It's green, no problem. Second level, 5 times 2, it's 10, no problem. But once it is the third level, 5 times 3 is 15. You give it code amber already. You have to concentrate on how to solve that problem. When it gets to 5 times 4, 20, you have to get worried. It's code yellow. And when it gets to 25, it's danger. We need to do something. What is our risk assessment? Are we proactive? Are we progressive? Are we prepared to stop this? No, we are not. And we have to be honest to ourselves. We haven't done enough. We haven't set the right foundation to be able
Vince,
to
we'll go to break now, but when we return, we'll take a few more solutions, maybe tell us more of what we should be doing to sort this out or stem the tide. That'll be when we return. Join us again.
If you want to know what's trending or you miss your favorite live shows, you can watch it all on our YouTube channel. Simply log on to www.youtube.com/channelsweb. Scroll down to your favorite program and click play. You can also view all uploaded videos by clicking on View All. Don't forget to subscribe and get the latest videos. If they are interesting, like them and be heard. Get connected with the Channels Television YouTube page. The news at your fingertips.
Hey, when was the last time you called your mother? Recently, right? But when was the last time you called the rest of your family? Or your friends from school? Now what about the neighbors? The ones you grew up with in your neighborhood? There's a saying, it takes a whole village to raise a child. Which is why, with Easy Life from Etisalat, it's only 11 kobo per second to call over 160 million Nigerians. When you get on Easy Life, you enjoy a flat tariff of 11 kobo per second to all networks, with only a 5 naira daily access fee. Because in Niger, we're all one big family. With Easy Life, you can call anyone. Actually, you could call everyone in Niger. Hey, how you doing?
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Welcome back. Let's take a quick look at the headlines again. Kano State Deputy Governor Hafizu Abubakar is seeking concerted efforts towards ending insurgency in the country, while the nation still grapples with its latest bomb explosion in the Asian city of Kano. He told Channels Television that the state government has been carrying out security awareness program to educate the residents. The Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, has now directed special stop and search operation on roads and highways nationwide, with emphasis on roads in and out of major cities and towns. He, however, adds that the special security measure is in no way a return of roadblocks, and any unprofessional conduct of officers by men of the Nigerian police should be reported to the authorities. There is no doubt that the issue of security is one that needs to be addressed quickly. To this end, 8 governors from the Northwest and the North Central region met with the security chiefs on the present situation in the 2 regions. Away from that now, Greece has been giving up till Sunday to present new proposals to secure a deal with creditors. This is according to Italy's Prime Minister Matteo Renzi after an emergency Eurozone leaders summit in Brussels. The Eurozone has asked Greece to submit fresh plans after its voters rejected a draft bailout in a referendum. Well, those are the headlines. It's back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Anne. And then let's get back to Vince and get his concluding thoughts on the program. Well, Vince, let's get some more thoughts on this one, because we've looked at the pattern of attack, because we do remember that when this change of guard happened, you remember the LCBC, that's the Lake Chad Basin Commission, the president had that meeting with them, but Chad also had an attack. They didn't have any change of guard, so many wonder, what exactly happened? Is it that they got fixated in trying to have or rally the troops while taking their eye off the ball? What exactly goes on when these kind of changeovers happen? Do you think that the authorities there just take their eye away just a bit?
I've been watching the situation in Chad very closely, and obviously I can tell you that the Chad government has got a different formula. They've got a different strategy to resolve these. You can see the Chad government saying that this kind of cultural or religious dressing has to stop to be able to control such kind of attacks from those kind of people dressing that kind of pattern. Now, we haven't seen such in Nigeria. So I think Chad has got a different strategy to compare to Nigeria. And I think that the issues in Nigeria could be that we are still not at a performing stage. So you've got towards a formula of forming, storming, numbing, and performing. So I'm not sure where Nigeria is. If Nigeria is still forming or storming, because when you're forming and storming, you've got people holding information that's going to help the government to resolve issues. But when you are already formed and performing, it's easier for you to work together knowing that Nigeria belongs to us. And this could come down to the issue of tribal differences, religious differences, cultural differences. Now, in Chad, it's not the same thing. So in Nigeria, what we need to be able to start asking ourselves, how come Chad seems to be taking more drastic and successful measures to control this? What can we do to copy what our government has done? So I think those are kind of questions we should be asking ourselves between Nigeria and Chad.
Okay, just quickly though, what do you make of the Inspector General's, or should I say the police's special stop and search? Do you think it's a measure that will work, considering that the governor of Plateau State also asked that, you know, the checkpoints be returned to his state? He believes that would also help check this. Do you agree?
Not at all. I think that governors, as politicians, are not security experts. I don't want to see politicians trying to get involved in the jobs of the IGP of police, as mandated by Mr. President. Now, the IGP has said he wants to set up stop and search. Stop and search is acceptable. It's part of security. Even they can take that further to do stop and account, whereby you're stopping people to find out who they are and where they're heading to or where they're coming from. That's stop and account. I don't believe that a governor of any state has got the right to ask for the military checkpoints to come back. I understand personally that the withdrawal of military checkpoints was a military checkpoint. It 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 was a milit was done to stop it. I don't know the level of information the police got or the kind of support the police got prior to stopping the military checkpoints. I don't have that kind of information. But obviously, it seems to a lot of Nigerians that the removal of military checkpoints is a bit too sudden. It's a bit too quick. It's a bit like now we have this kind of attacks. People are starting to ask questions around. But let me mention something very important. We have to start looking at solutions here, not about what politicians say to make them feel good. We have to look at, we've got the man that got the capacity. We've got the president that understands security. So we need to respect their knowledge and their wisdom in these areas, not what a politician thinks that should be done. But very important, let me mention one thing. Right. We need to start asking ourselves, how prepared are we to safeguard these key areas they're beginning to attack? Areas like the markets, the place of worship, our malls, our schools. What kind of knowledge, information are the security services working with all these kind of organizations? Look at places like federal secretariats or state secretariats. What are we doing to protect those places, to create the kind of awareness? I've got a program called EYES, in case of emergency. We need to have this kind of programs. But the funny thing, guys, is like, as somebody in power, we hear what I'm saying, talking about EYES in case of emergency. They're going to rush to get a family friend or a brother to package a program. You're going to get it wrong because as an expert, I'll give you the information, but I'll not give you how to get it done. We need to have systems that we can educate people, like, if anything happens at the secretariat or in the market, this is what you should do. SOPs, operation procedures. If anything happens in your place of worships, this is what you should be doing. That way we can be able to reduce lives. We need to have to start this kind of education to support our people and to reduce this and to discourage the terrorists that we are on top of our game.
Thank you very much indeed, Vince. Well, that's it for this segment. We'll be back with other perspectives on another matter, actually. Don't go away.